Glassine box.
Glassine box.
Glassine box show.
Just the group of artists involved is so crazy. Like, you know, what a weird, eclectic mix.
I'm really excited about the show because it's a really cool collection of people. It's also really cool because they're all friends of ours who are doing incredible art or music or whatever their medium is. But yeah, it's a really cool like little art gang. The people whose work I come into contact with because of Glassine Box are all people who inspire me artistically and whose work I admire.
Well, Glassine Box is like a really small publishing house that is connected to a community, a group of friends of mine around New York, and published some books and a print by me. And I really like it. I mean, it's kind of like a fun, like community thing, you know, to just sort of have like a place that if I have an idea for a book or a picture or something, would put it out and believes in me creatively. So
I've really enjoyed it thus far. The possibilities are endless, which is great. It's like very open to a variety of mediums, and it all has to do with like a scene of people that are coming from a lot of different backgrounds and are coming together to celebrate art, music, and creativity. It's a beautiful thing.
For the self-portrait piece, that's the series of 4 photographs, I modeled that after Nan Golden, who is one of my favorite photographers, and her lifestyle and type of photography is really raw, and I really look up to that because I like taking photos that aren't necessarily beautiful and like really show something or show a mystery to something. And I was just doing a bunch of Google searches and I found her photos, and I just looked into the lifestyle, and I have this weird fascination with everything dirty and gritty and like drug related.
Well, the Spider-Man thing, that was literally a hero, and then I guess I was thinking about heroes that were more personal. So I thought of David Armstrong, I thought of Sandy Kim, and then somewhere in between I thought about Japan because of the Spider-Man thing. And then I got the picture with Cat, which is kind of like a silly hero because it's not really a person or like it's not an identity, but it's a cat, which is very Japanese. Yeah. So that's the most abstract. The rest are just definitions of heroes to me.
My pieces in this show are mostly heroes of mine, with the exception of one person. But the Basquiat Warhol piece, two artistic heroes of mine. The Arturo Vega piece, also an artistic hero of mine and just a hero in general. The Afghan girl, that's heroic to me because it's like beauty in the midst of war, and it sort of adds hope to a hopeless situation. And then the John Gotti and Bin Laden piece, that one is called Outlaws. John Gotti, though, was actually growing up because I moved from New Jersey. John Gotti was actually a hero of mine. Osama Bin Laden, no. But, I don't know, but he looked right standing next to John Gotti somehow.
Like there's something kind of like amorphous about a hero, and like, you know, I think that there's even a book by Joseph Campbell, A Hero with a Thousand Faces, you know, and it's like, and it does really change, right? I mean, like you can be like the hero of your house, or like the hero of like, you know, like pinball or something, you know, and it's or like a, you know, like a soldier, and so I guess in the show I did a few different heroes that were like, you know, in some ways kind of not related. Like I did a portrait of Macaulay Culkin, who's a friend of mine, and he sat for it, and I always actually have really admired him a lot, and certainly when he was a kid, he was like a hero for my generation, you know, beating the crooks at Christmas. So it was interesting to do a portrait of him. I have a memory of drawing with my dad, who is a really good artist and kind of like used to do Hallmark cards when he was a teenager. He was a Hallmark card illustrator, and he's a good artist, but he would draw Superman for me. And he would draw it like, you know, just with like sort of like a regular guy's head, and like sort of like write an S on his chest. And I remember thinking like my dad's Supermen were really cool. Like, you know, I kind of actually wondered, like, I was so young when he would draw them that I would think, like, was it illegal for him to draw him that way? You know, or like I was just so confused. It was like a kind of mind-blowing concept to draw Superman, not how he looked, like, you know, what do you call it, like literally. So
right.
So I think that was my inspiration for drawing these Supermen that are sort of like down and out, like kind of like fat Supermen that are like kind of cubic expressionist. I think I'm a bit of a cubic expressionist. So.
Theme of heroes, like when we were making the pins, like there's the book of all DiCaprio photos from like every movie that he's done, and it's called Romantic Hero. She took some photos of him from that movie Total Eclipse, which I really liked when I was young. We were really excited, like from when we did the Venus single, like when we recorded with you guys. Every time we go in, it's like more fun than the time before. So we certainly love Glassine Rock. We're excited to be part of the show because it's cool to have a song that we did with you guys in a place where we make all this stuff, but then only is for this experience. Just to hear it at the show, I think it's really cool.
Just basically paint on a leather. Mostly, well, no, it's cool to me because it's one of those things. It's like you see somebody's with their own like intricate leather jacket. It's like they put a little time into it, and it says something about themselves and what they're interested in. And it's also seen by so many fucking people, depending upon what city you're in or wherever. It's like New York, it's like the amount of people that see your jacket walking around in comparison to see like, you know, music art in somebody's house. It's like so different. So it's like just something that can be done so fast and easy. It's fucking amazing on a leather jacket because it's like a billboard of someone in New York that it's like if they're out and about all night, it's like that graphic. It's like out all night, every night for the most part, being seen by however many people, you know. So that's kind of I don't know, it's a powerful thing with using the leather jacket.
is based on an older silkscreen from a couple of years ago that I hand painted, and then I decided to do streets of that. And it's a portrait of two women at the first Germs show at the Mask in LA. Pretty proud of the stuff that's coming out of it. It's different than what I see from other places. I'm happy about Glassine box.
I feel like my photos, I mean, that's what I like, not what I aim to capture, that's what I do capture with, like, you know, making photographs, and it's more like an obsession with just like keeping these moments because they're like so fleeting, you know? So I feel like the pieces I have in the show totally reflect that.
A hero is anybody that can change your perspective, or at least show you a new perspective worth seeing. So I guess if as an artist you can be heroic, if you're somebody that has something beautiful to say, and you say it in a way where you influence people towards the positive. It's interesting in the gallery setting because it was really conceptualized to be out on the street for people to interact with them, and the statues. I made statues for the show in arches, and so I've been struggling in tandem while making them for the show. I've been struggling with this conversation that I've been having with complete strangers who see it fit to come and take the piece as opposed to leaving it for other people to enjoy, which is fine. That's just an opinion of someone that I'm having a conversation with. The first installment was a set of 24, 12 cosmonauts and 12 astronauts, two different perspectives with very similar conditions, and they took all of them and broke certain arches. So my response to that was refilling them with a grayer, less virginal white color, and adding latches that hopefully wouldn't deter them from taking it, but that would at least ask them or plead with them. And that didn't work out. So the final stage is this beautifully, like, kind of a majestic black that will be set down permanently. And the ones that are at your gallery are interesting to me because they're safe from any of that, which makes me wonder about the whole thing in general.
I'm the cheerleader. That's what not the leader. I'm the cheerleader for my friends who are artists who are great. And so I said, hey, we hang out together and can we like organize a little bit and, you know, continue to hang out and maybe like, you know, do a show or, you know, make a book. For me, the idea of heroes was that all these people involved were my heroes. But also for all the artists involved, they got to do whatever the hell they wanted to do. Put a loaded word out there and it's pretty easy for people to connect. Or even if they don't know they're connecting, when they've done their work, everyone else can see it or even they can see it. It's very loaded, and it's loaded on purpose, you know. But for me, these people on that poster, they're the heroes.
Annabelle is a magazine that was started by me and my best friend Ashley Comet. I had the idea for it about 4 years ago, and I asked Ashley to join me because I knew that it would make it so much better. It is a literary and arts magazine. The point was to publish pieces that wouldn't normally be published for people that would be afraid to do it, but deserve to see their work in print. So we've had this idea for a very long time, and just because we let life get in the way and our own things, we kind of just passed, and I honestly kind of gave up on it. So much time had passed, and then Ashley came up to me and said that Johnny was interested in bringing the magazine out, and that's kind of when it happened. So we did it, and it's done. It was amazing, and we're going to keep doing it now.
called Death Valley, 1970. Somewhere in the desert, a pale blue gas station paused with big sips of warm water and blue jeans in your old white shirt. I am honored to be able to read this. This is Sarah Ann Jones. There are things popping out of me, like flowers, but they are not flowers, and there is no one looking to pick them. There are things popping out of me. I smash and shove them downward. I'm afraid they will turn against me, just like you. I wait inside the city as if it is a pool for the misled. There are things popping out of me. I am exploding. No one looking.
Well, there was a black flag that I made probably right after 9/11, and then there was a flag which I called soft sculpture, and it was wrapped around a pole, and it had an eagle on the top. And that was soft sculpture. And then I had a collage called Proud to Be an American, and it was Afrocentric. It had 3 afros. And that's my show. My contribution.
Was that like purposeful when you pick the pieces for the show, or did they just all end up being flags when you?
No, because I'm black and I'm proud. Say
Okay.
it loud. Black power.
That was good. What did you think about opening night? About the other pieces in the show?
I think it's about black power. That's what I really think it's about. I think it's nothing but black power. That's my new mantra. Power to the people. Good night.
come on everybody. Oh well, my baby's #1, but I'm gonna dance with 3 or 4. And the house will be shaking from the bare feet slapping on the floor. Well, when you hear the music, you just can't sit still. If your brother won't rock, then your sister will. Woo! Come on, everybody. Oh, well, we really have a party, but we gotta put a guard outside. If the folks come home, I'm afraid they're gonna have my hide. There'll be no more movies for a week or two. No more running around with the usual crew. Who cares? Come on, everybody.